Hey everybody, how's it going? We are here with a timeless reading. Welcome in. All right, we're starting off with Nine of Swords and Nine of Wands and Queen of Cups and Page of Cups and the Magician. All right. The Nine of Swords in this deck always feels like a lack of willingness to allow something to unfold the way that it's going to, that can be disguised as fear. So something is happening, something is evolving, and it can even feel like in a way something is soon to be reborn, but the part of you that may be like, but I want to hold on to this thing until its dying breath, that's the feeling that I get from Nine of Swords, where it's like you don't really know what this is going to turn into yet. You don't know like how things are going to necessarily unfold. What I do know is that something will be reborn through this process, but it can be really difficult to allow something to do that when it's like we want it to stay in its form, and then we feel scared when things start decomposing, because we want it to stay in that form, because we want to keep it sort of as it is, but nothing in life is going to be like that. So this is about sort of allowing your thoughts to move fluidly with the way that energetically something is unfolding, because again, like that sense of like being rigid with, I don't want this thing to change, but naturally like everything is going to change. It's kind of the only constant, ironically enough, that of course something is going to like appear in one form and then it's going to sort of disintegrate and then come up in a different form. It's just the way that the cycles work. Nine of Swords can be like, I'm terrified by the potential change that's going to be happening. I'm having a really difficult time here. And now I'm feeling scared because I'm not feeling willing to allow this process. Like I don't feel in line with that. And more than anything, this is just bringing up a lot of like fear or anxiety for me in general, because like what's gonna happen now? Like if things aren't gonna stay like this, then what are they going to be looking like? And it looks like that's the main challenge here. Now I'm seeing Queen of Cups, and I feel like there's a part of you. Queen of Cups is the part of you that is so deeply spiritual and energetically and emotionally tuned in and tapped in. And I see this Queen of Cups, this part of you like reaching out. This is going to be like the more like your moon energy, reaching out to the part of you that's the more mental energy that can be having a really hard time going through this right now. Like I'm just having a hard time accepting this or wrapping my head around this. And it feels like the challenge is allowing the part of you that is connected with your divine wisdom and spirituality and your divine like cosmic understanding of things to meet that part of yourself that may from a really like rational scientific perspective be having a hard time with something, because it's like forgetting the deeper essence within things. And so you can feel like at odds with yourself, or just like not peaceful within, because of these two sort of parts of yourself that are at a bit of a distance from one another right now. So I'm seeing the mental part of you that may not be feeling particularly calm, can actually be having a really hard time with things right now. And then there is the soothing part of you that's like, there's nothing that is not going to work, you know? It's the part of you that just trusts in the divine plan because you have that innate understanding of it. Whereas if you're just leaning on yourself from a cerebral standpoint and not integrating this other part of yourself, you can be feeling like this is the end of the world, even if it's not that extreme. For some of you, the situation can be that extreme. For others of you, it may not be that severe on the scale, but whatever it is, like Nine of Swords is showing that something is sort of taking place here, and there can be fear instead of however else you could be looking at this, you know? Like you could see something change and be like, oh, that's the life cycle of it, or this is the natural way, or like the natural law of things, like this is supposed to be happening, versus the part of you that's like, but then what's gonna happen then, and what if it's not okay? And again, like Queen of Cups is that part of you that's like, it's gonna be okay, it's gonna be okay. And tapping into that part of yourself, again, that's like, it's innate to you. So it's not this foreign part of yourself, but it feels like integrating that sort of back into the picture here and allowing you to work with what you have. I'm seeing the Magician come out here. So if you're in this place where you're just impressed upon by fear, it's really going to limit what you're able to do mentally here with the Magician. Because Magician is like all of your power here, your staying power in this situation to be able to be like, okay, now this is put in front of me. How do I work with this? And you may be feeling like you're having a bit of a meltdown here with the Nine of Swords, which is all right too. It's just your process. Maybe you need to freak out a little bit before you get back on your feet here. There's no rush. So Magician feels like that part of you that is like the divine, wise part of you that's able to look at what's in front of you, work with it, and also sort of look into the future of what's going to unfold based off of that. Nine of Swords is that the mental part of you that can be disconnected from this more empowered state of, okay, I'll work with whatever's right in front of me and figure out what to do with it. Nine of Swords is like, what's gonna happen? What's gonna happen? It's like very worried, it's very fearful, and so it doesn't really allow your Mercury energy to do what it's meant to be doing here, to like function at its best, because it's just like worried about things. So instead of like doing something or working with the energy, it's sort of stuck in that freeze state of, I'm just feeling so worried, I almost can't really function here. The Magician is a reminder that you have everything you need in this instance to do what needs to be done. Like there's no element that you can't work with. There's nothing that's happening that you aren't able to work with. And also too, that you have a place within that as well. Like this isn't you thrown into somewhere that you're not supposed to be. You are in exactly the situation that you're meant to be in, and meant to be working with this too. Okay, Magician, the framework of things, is looking forward into the future, and I'm seeing 10 of Wands be there, which can feel like something very congested that's going on. It's like, I feel like Cups are more of a foggy energy. This is more of like needing to see through the brush that's in front of you with the Wands. So Magician and 10 of Wands can be like I'm having a hard time organizing mentally right now. There's a lot going on. I'm also like experiencing a lot of stuff like emotionally that can feel a little bit like untethered, ungrounded, unhinged, whatever you want to call it. So there's a part of you that's a little bit I get just like sort of freezing up here mentally, because something is feeling overwhelming, and also because I feel from what I'm seeing here that sometimes we can be in a situation and be like, it's hard because it's stressful and that's what's going on, but I'm actually seeing Nine of Swords be before things start feeling overwhelming. So it feels like the fear happens first, or like the freezing is happening first. That's not allowing you to function effectively in this moment. And then I'm seeing it feels stressful because of not like functioning effectively. And that's sort of where the stress comes through, where it's like, I'm supposed to be taking action here, but I feel like I can't really move because I'm so just caught up in the concern over what's happening rather than being involved and in the middle of this. I'm just like looking at it, like worrying but not doing anything, and then starting to feel the pressure of, I'm supposed to be doing something right now, but I almost feel like I can't do anything right now, and then feeling like more and more stress because nothing is getting done is what this seems like. That can be the feeling. Stuff is definitely getting done, but maybe in a different way. First thing you want to do is soothe. You have to bring yourself back into a state where you can function properly and then start to tackle what's in front of you. It looks like that's the advice more than anything. So instead of just being like, okay, you with your gears not functioning properly, let's throw you in and sort of get you to try to do something. And it feels like that's the wrong way to do it here, like not the most effective way. It feels like getting these gears to work again properly and then go in and do what needs to be done is what's being suggested here. I'm seeing a lot on your plate, and it can be making it hard to see past that or see beyond that. Even to the part of you that's like, okay, I'm gonna do this now, can feel difficult to connect with that part of yourself. Nine of Wands, you have something in front of you. This thing can be broken down, this thing can be taken apart, and then you will get those faculties back to be able to use them. Starting off with the Nine of Swords is that moment where everything can feel kind of condensed and tangled up, but then I'm seeing us eventually work through this and get to the Ace of Wands, which is rather than looking at this and seeing it as being some type of unwanted ending or conclusion or breaking down of something or change, I can actually see past that and see through to the door that's opening. I can see through to the opportunity. I feel like this is going to take a little bit of imagination. But when like fear comes through, it kind of shrinks that down a bit. And so you may feel sort of cut off from that part of yourself that's like able to be creative in these situations. Because maybe that's exactly what's needed. You know, like Magician would say that, Magician and Queen of Cups, and also having like the Wands here too, needing to be present, which it can be hard to when you're like worrying about things because you're everywhere other than right here. Being present, going to be most helpful. You do have a full plate, so also recognizing that too. Like you are definitely going through something here that can feel a bit dense and feel a bit complicated. Queen of Cups feels most of all like it's about soothing this part of your energy that may be feeling like very escalated right now. And once that is done, once you can sort of like connect those aspects of your energy and get yourself back to like grounded levels here, then you're going to be able to move forward, and it feels like everything becomes very simple after that. Like the call is heard again and you'll know which way to move. But before, I feel like something, because of like the fear, the anxiety, there's a difficulty in connecting with that part of yourself that's like, okay, this is what we do in this situation, you know? And this can also be something too where it's like you can't think through this, like you're gonna have to feel your way through it. But right now, maybe all you feel is fear or anxiety, and it's like, what about, like, I'm having a hard time accessing those other things. So it feels like soothing this energy is going to help you connect with all of the other sort of messages that you could be receiving through this process. And then it feels like the path clears and it's very obvious what to be doing here. like it's gonna stand out in a way that you can't like ignore it. It'll be very clear, it'll be very obvious. And so in allowing the change that's going to be happening, whether you're resistant to it or not, it's going to be happening, right? Allow the change to happen. The Ace of Wands comes up out of this. So something that's like on its way out is then going to turn into something that's like on its way in, essentially, but you have to let this thing be on its way out to allow the cycle to complete here so the next cycle can begin. Nine of Swords and the Magician can also be, it feels like there's something that you're meant to be doing here, like a part of you that's going to need to be infused in this, but having Nine of Swords above it can be like you sort of blocking yourself from that. I saw 1551 on the time when I just looked up. I want to check this out. It says angel number 1551 serves as a powerful reminder that personal growth and self-expression go hand in hand. Personal growth, dealing with the Nine of Swords here, so whatever this is, that's like the most intimidating thing or the scariest thing or the thing that you're most worried about, and that going hand in hand with your self-expression, which is the Magician. Something that you're creating, something that you're expressing. Again, Magician is tied with your Mercury energy, which is like what you're thinking and what you're saying and what you're manifesting, those things. So it feels like by mindfully handling this part of things, that can be the more difficult parts of your Mercury energy. It's going to then unleash the very like embodied, powerful, empowered aspects of your Mercury energy. But you sort of have to deal with both sides of that too. I feel like you're on the verge of something, like on the cusp of like some type of powerful creation and like powerful force that you're tapping into here. It's just like moving through the old energy and sort of allowing it to go to rest so the new energy can emerge from this. And to take care of this before you enter into whatever or grab hold of this opening or opportunity that's coming up, like working with that part of yourself feels very important here. And you may feel blocked until you do so. So I'm seeing that's why it's being suggested. This Nine of Swords can also come in the form of things that are distracting you from something that you intend to be doing or feel like you want to be giving your energy to. And it can be stuff that if you sort of shift your focus into presently what's going on and allow yourself to work with that, that can also be part of this process as well. Mental health, grounding, will allow you to see opportunities that you weren't seeing before. And at that point where you manage this, you will see the path feel very clear, like what you're supposed to be moving towards, it will feel very clear, okay? All right, my friends, we are going to leave the reading here. I would like to thank everyone for connecting. Thank you for tuning in. I'm sending everybody love, and I hope to catch you guys next time.